How's it going, trainers? Coming at you with some Manaphy action today featuring Arceus EX and Abomasnow. Abomasnow from the latest set feels like it solves two different problems that these Manaphy decks have always had. The first is that when you lead on Manaphy and start accelerating your energy, your opponent almost always knocks it out as your lead, picking up their first point. This means under perfect circumstances, you want to pivot into another one knockout point Pokemon as your first attacker, so that way they have to knock that out, going to 2, and then eventually you finish on an EX. Abomasnow does this really cleanly, hitting for 80 points of damage for just 2 energy. Typically means you can put 2 Manaphy activations to power up the Abomasnow and get it ready to go, while also building your Arceus or your Palkia next to it. The second issue that Abomasnow solves, in my opinion, is that it gives you another really solid lead for the games where you don't have Manaphy. You play your Snover, you put an energy on it, you attack for 10, you play your Abomasnow, you put your second energy on it with Arceus on the bench, you start hitting for 80 right away, applying very real pressure to your opponent without the need to accelerate with Manaphy at all. You're going to see all the bits and pieces of this deck come together in a bunch of these games, even beating the best breakout deck in the format, Dialga Arceus, right now. If you enjoy off-meta brews like this every single day, make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you don't miss any of the upcoming ones. And if you enjoy this one in particular, smash that like button for the rest of the day. Have fun. Okay, we're going first. Manaphy. Looking for a couple of basic friends here. That's lovely. This is, again, just going to be one of those spots where I really just want to draw a third basic Pokemon. So I'm just going to chill on these Pokeballs. So that way we have the highest possible chance to draw a basic next turn and then Pokeball into 2 more, is the idea. Can Leafeon save Venusaur? What problem does Venusaur have as a card that is solved by playing Leafeon? That's the kind of question you want to ask yourself when you're trying to figure out, does a card help a previous existing card? What issue was that previous existing card having, and how does the new card I'm thinking about potentially solve that issue? Neither of those are the snowman I wanted for Christmas, chat. Truly unfortunate, unlucky. I think we leave a bench slot open in case we draw a snowman next turn. Garchomp had a number of results this weekend. You should check out the new 70% win rates video for a bunch of Garchomp deck lists. Holy and fully Garchomp pilled on this channel. I think we get Arceus ready to attack. Snover's a wonderful pickup here. We'll go Palkia, Snover. They can clean this. Abomasnow will crack them. And then Arceus will finish. To have a 1 knockout point Pokemon after they kill your Manaphy. The downside to Manaphy is you're essentially being like, okay, I'm going to have a huge energy advantage this game, but my opponent's going to get a free point to start. So by having another card that's a 1 knockout point, you make it so your opponent, your opponent's first free point doesn't really matter. So it's like, okay, you got the Manaphy for free, but then you have to go through Abomasnow, and then after you go through Abomasnow, you're going to have to finish on one of my EXs. I'm going to play this Manaphy out here, so that way we don't get got by a Sabrina that these decks often play one of. We had some heads on the Misty here, but honestly, I don't think it matters. We're probably just, like, pivoting into Arceus once we're done with this one. All right, you're at 110. Are we still done here? It's feeling like we're done here, gamers. 130, still dead to my Arceus. All right, and they're pivoting. Well, I mean, you know, I don't know if the timeout really matters here, but we got him. Yeah. And for context on the non-subscriber side, do it. Manaphy on 1 burst energy advantage. Give me some basics. Give me some basics. I guess I also still need basic Pokemon here though, yeah? We're playing 7 of them. Oh, Sage. What do you think is better, 18 Trainer Articuno or Splash a Palkia in there? The Palkia 18 Trainer decks had much worse performance metrics than Articuno 18 Trainer decks by the numbers, by a very significant margin. I have not played any games yet with Arceus Raichu, but I think that card is potentially very good. It's on my list eventually. Snover is a perfect draw. That is exactly what we wanted for Christmas. Let's do this. Let's do this. I might still want this other bench slot to be another Abomasnow, so I'm gonna leave it open for a second here. If you're a fan of Pocket who's invested in the community, is there something we could do to continue to build Pocket up to be as successful and viable as Snap has been? I mean, just doing what you're doing here, Subbart. If you're someone that really enjoys Pocket content, showing up every single day to hang out and lurk in streams is the best way to support. I think I'm going to continue to leave this bench slot open for now. I'm going to put a cape on this Abomasnow, so that way it... Because I was thinking we could 80 and 80 and threaten to two-shot it while it's two-shotting us, but with the Shaman, it's actually not true. Although I suppose the way this plays, I can leaf this out and then clear with Arceus. So it's probably fine. So the crack for 130. I guess getting this out without giving them a knockout has value here. It like forces them to burn Cyrus if they have it. And then it kind of feels like once I clear this, they just can't win the game, right? Like they have no energy left and I'm threatening 130 every turn. And I'm picking up my first 2 knockout points. I'm gonna be really curious to see if this deck can keep the #1 spot in the metagame. It feels like there's a lot of good ways to attack it. Yeah, GG. Neither of these are ideal openers for us, but Palkia is slightly more or less ideal. Is that the right way to say that? Slightly more or less. Ooh, that's a really fun background. Is this the monthly one, or is this one from something else? That looks really clean. A lot of the backgrounds that have Pokemon on them are super busy and I don't like them. But that one actually looks really slick. This is the premium pass one. Okay, cool. Second Arceus. I don't think I'm playing that out yet. There's a chance I want Manaphy and Abomasnow in these last two slots. So they need to cape this, evolve this, or move it out of the active spot here. Saying this out loud to remind myself more than anything, Arceus EX is weak to fighting. Something that could be relevant and come up in this match. I'm gonna put an energy on Snover here because if we find... Alright. If we find his evolution next turn, we could X speed and then crack for 80 would be a huge deal. Because we have the Arceus. Yep. Yeah, look at that. All right, play more basics, gamers. The abominable snowman is here. He's ready to take your lunch money. This is a pretty solid opener for us in a non-Manaphy game. The Omega Punch is here to clean you out. Okay, Snover into Abomasnow is like a really solid curve if we could find the Arceus here. We're going second, so we have 2 draws at it. It was 10 into 80. Gabite only has 80 HP, right? But I'm gonna not hit with Ice Shard. Because I don't need to take that. I don't need to take a hit here or deal 10 to clear with this next turn. Dragon Gabite has 90. That's why I was confusing it. I think they're more likely to be the fighting build. We'll see though, I suppose. Yeah, it was the fighting one. That's so many Rocky hats. So we hit this. I don't think I'm supposed to... I think I'm supposed to leaf into Manaphy. Is the thing. Manaphy is kind of a free point for their Garchomp at some point. Although I suppose we could always keep it. Yep, there's Daddy Chomp. Is this last card a leaf or an X speed? I want this to be Palkia, ideally, I think. Okay, so you're saying there's a chance. So they clear the Manaphy. Or are they planning to move this out manually? That seems really good for me. And I'm fine with them killing this with a 100 damage attack here, because then Abomasnow hits this, I think is the plan. So I'm just gonna Oceanic Gift, and I'm gonna let them take this knockout. And the game plan is here. They take this point, I 80 them, they take this point, and then Palkia clears. Or Arceus clears, and then this other one's not set up enough to be able to do anything. Yeah, so this is a retreat, linear attack the Manaphy, I assume. I think I give them the option to clear Manaphy. Because they're gonna have the option to clear Abomasnow. I can't protect both of these regardless, and I need to cape this to play around Cyrus killing it. I would be very surprised if new Snorlax is a competitive card, and usually I try and focus on things that I think could be competitive during my early deck building. Okay. So if I kill this, they can't attack for 100 with anything next turn. So I don't need to worry about keeping this just yet. We played Garchomp builds yesterday a bunch, and I started with Bar Shadow in some of them, and I ended up cutting it for this reason we see the opponent here, where you just don't have time to build it up, and when they take their EX knockouts, its effect is worse. Seven basics later are always a Palkia opener, gamers. That's fine. We'll slash to start. It'll be okay. Mew with the grass energy. Egg deck, maybe? Egg deck. Some of these eggs decks play Mew as a fourth basic. I'd assume it's Egg and not Leafeon, because Leafeon can't put energies on Mew. Leafeon only powers up grass Pokemon. Alright, then we're hoping to draw Arceus or Snover next turn, so we can Leaf into Manaphy and get that going. Yikes. Alright, there's a Snover for later. I'm gonna leave this last bench slot open here for an Arceus, obviously. So that way, pull Palkia out of the active spot so we can charge it up to Dimensional Storm to clean this out. This is one of the matchups where you really want the one copy of Palkia in this deck, because clearing this with a cape is big game. Yikes. I think the line here is... Well, I guess I could have Iridud. That's close. This means they need 1 heads out of 3 with a Cyrus, and a lot of times these decks play 2 Cyrus. It might have been right to just attach the energy organically and Iridud and stay in, and then they'd need 3 heads to clean me. But if they don't have the Cyrus, this line is really good. Game winning even. Although I suppose with the follow-up egg, they clear the Manaphy, and then if the egg clears Palkia, we get into trouble. Or I need to copy Arceus in our next couple of draws here. We'll go ahead and do this, so that way we don't die to an Executor heads. We're still just chilling on that. If we find an Arceus next turn, we can leaf this out and Abomasnow crack this for 80, which leaves us in an all-right spot because they took the Manaphy point. Oh, that's interesting. It's a little punishing for not evolving, but it means if they hit Tails, we're in an okay spot. This makes me wish I would have played out the other Stover. Go on, let's just top deck the Arceus, huh? Is that guaranteed? I think that's guaranteed, yeah. Were you saving Stover for to preserve the option of second Arceus, or Arceus plus Manaphy potentially still too was on the table? There are a few different combinations of things we could have played out onto my bench that weren't second Abomasnow. If they hit Tails here, we're in an incredible spot. If they hit Heads, we're in a medium spot, but not guaranteed dead. Do your thing, girl. Oh, yeah, that definitely counts as your thing. Let's power this up, actually, yeah? And then they have to heal next turn, or they die to the other Abomasnow? With the leaf? That was a solid game for us. Not remotely optimal starts on either side. We were able to outmaneuver him here. Abomasnow looking to punch above his weight class here a little bit. Going toe-to-toe with the previous format's best deck. Arceus just like cheering on the sideline, making sure we can Mega Punch. We're going second, and we have a Manaphy? It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Do-do-do. It's really funny that Water Energy Eevee lead is statistically a Leafy on deck right now, I think, huh? With the Palkia, it's probably Vaporeon. I've definitely played against more water Eevee Leafeons than not recently. Us having Manaphy to start in the Manaphy mirror match is obviously a huge leg up here. And we have just the full boat of things we want to power up here. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Easiest game of Pokemon Pocket I ever played in my life. I think we just charge Palkia to 6 with the Misty Heads here and just run them over, yeah? I'm struggling to figure out what the devs wanted me to use the Grandma Trainer for. If you figure it out, you let me know. I saw some people doing cute things like, I saw some people doing cute things like, Snorlax with it, but it seems more cute than good. Their Misty is far less classically trained than ours. Caldred, thank you for the 67 months. Welcome back. I think I go ahead and... Oh, I should have Pokeball before I played this, viewing information. I'm going to cape the Manaphy here, so that way they can't pivot to Palkia and clear it next turn is the plan. Oh, was I supposed to... Maybe we were supposed to energy the Arceus so we could put it up next turn? I saw some people trying Grandma with T-Tar and Baby Arceus. You lead the Arceus while you build up T-Tar, and then you get it back after it gets knocked out. I mean, that sounds like the best deck building theory aspect of it, but that also sounds just like a ton of moving parts to get right, so I'd be surprised if it's competitive. But from a novel gameplay pattern perspective, that seems fine. The 80-80 adding up to 160 is pretty clean, gamers. Do you have a cape for this Palkia? Even if you kill Abomasnow here, you need a cape, gamer. You sure this is the play? So long. Farewell. I'll see you and good day. Regardless of our Misty variants, we were in a pretty good spot here.